Well, I just thought I'm a little late on my morning rant this morning. Well, anyway, I want to rant today about inflation. Well, let me explain what inflation is. Inflation is nothing but a hidden tax implemented by our government. The government is the only ones that create inflation. Nothing else. They can say that, it's because of this, or it's because of the wheat crop, or it's all because of this. No, 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 no. Inflation is solely created by government. How, you may ask? How does the government create inflation? By having a central banking system that they could call up at any point in time and say, hey, I need you to print $700 trillion at interest. Yes. All that $1,700 that everybody got sent, and all that extra $700 of unemployment that you received while we was doing the 15-day slow the curve is the effects of what is the inflation you see right now. How many stimulus checks did we all get? Or child tax credits? How much money was printed and divvied out to big corporations? Millions, trillions, billions of dollars, right? It was printed. It was printed at the Federal Reserve and distributed throughout the Federal Reserve System within the United States of America. Don't believe these idiotic pundits out here trying to say that it's this reason, it's that reason, it's this reason. No, the reason is every time the government sends money willy-nilly out to everybody, that devaluates the currency that's already presently being circulated. You get it? Do you get it? Let's talk about the Federal Reserve. Okay, the Federal Reserve was created with the Federal Reserve Act signed by Woodrow Wilson in 1913. When a bunch of bankers got together on an island out off the coast of South Carolina called Jekyll Island. Ever since the creation of the Federal Reserve in 1913, the value of our dollar has diminished by 96%, which means less buying power with that dollar. Every time you hear of a stimulus package or a quantitative easing, that's the code word from the Federal Reserve, meaning printing more money. Every time one of those things are distributed, it devaluates the currency that's already on the market. And I hope people can understand that. You folks out there that can't really grasp what inflation is and fractional reserve system is and the Federal Reserve System is, I strongly advise you to read that book. It's called Money Mischief by Milton Friedman. Strongly suggest that you read that book. All right? So, the first round of stimulus checks came out. People got on unemployment. Federal Reserve printing money. All right? And that's the effects that we're seeing of inflation currently. I think Biden had a COVID relief plan when he got put in office, and everybody got another $1,400, $1,200, $1,400 or whatever, right? That inflation hasn't even kicked in. Milton Friedman says that when the Federal Reserve prints money and distributes it out, prints new money and prints it out and distributes it out, it takes up almost around 2 years for that money to flood the market and inflation to start kicking in. Back to the Federal Reserve. So when the Federal Reserve was created in 1913, they agreed to be the central bank of the United States of America, the U.S. Treasury, which basically meant that they could print fiat currency at will without any kind of value to back it up whatsoever. All right? So when the Federal Reserve Act was created and they printed the first single dollar bill and distributed it, they did that with interest. Because the Federal Reserve, if you don't know this already, is not a governmentally controlled entity. It is a privately owned bank. They print up these dollar bills and they hand them out. All right? the very first dollar that goes out and distributes is loaned to the federal government at interest. At interest. The very first single dollar. Okay, so how is the federal government supposed to pay off the interest of the very first dollar that was created? How are they supposed to pay it back? They won't, and they never will. The whole Federal Reserve, fractional reserve system is a complete fraud to steal your wealth from you. The whole point of the creation of the Federal Reserve is to bamboozle you into and devaluating your money while all them fat cats bankers sit up there in them big fat ivory towers and make buku-doodles and buku-doodles of wealth. While people like me and you suffer the consequences. The thing that concerns me the absolute most about the inflation that we are seeing today is who is it going to affect the most? Older relatives that are living on a fixed income, because their money is not being increased, while the prices of everyday items such as groceries, gas, whatever, feed for your animals or whatever is going through the roof. By the end of March, a family's food cost is going to double. Biden's dumbass has no inclination of how economic or monetary policy works. If he does, he don't show any kind of knowledge whatsoever. And he hides it real damn well. But people like my mother, people that are on government assistance, like 70% of the population of Memphis, Tennessee, all are on government subsidies. All get welfare. All get government housing. All get food stamps. All get child care. All that stuff, right? Well, all that stuff is going to increase in price. But while their subsidies from the government remains the same. So if you got a family up in Memphis that is living on welfare, has 5, 6, 7 kids, and they can't eat the nice things that's been provided to them the past few years due to the government sending that family money to buy food, them kids are going to throw a fucking fit. Once all them people that's on government assistance can't go out and buy a fucking loaf of bread or a gallon of milk for their children, the shit is going to hit the fan, people. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's coming. It's coming. The shit is fixing to hit the fucking fan. They're saying that gas might be $15 a gallon. People on fixed incomes. People that's on welfare. People that don't work. People that are on disability. That's who it's going to affect. And it's going to devastate them. I'm already in the talks with my mother about her moving up here and living with me. Because by summertime, she won't be able to afford nothing because she lives on a fixed income. You need to prepare for those dollar bills that's in your savings and those dollar bills that's in your wallet and those dollar bills that you got stashed up under your mattress are soon to be worthless. Go buy gold and silver immediately or invest in cryptocurrency, which I'm not fond of cryptocurrency because the fucking government is already talking about regulating crypto. And whenever you hear of the government regulating anything, all they're really doing is cutting out the small time guy or the mom and pop and opening it up for the big corporations that have unlimited amounts of money to do anything they want to do with. That's what happens when the government regulates anything. So let me tell you, once they start regulating or trying to regulate crypto, all you folks out there, small time folks that's been investing in crypto, well, your shit's going to be stolen from you. Because let me tell you something about gold and silver. Gold and silver always will have value. Always. Dollar collapses, gold and silver, and all kind of precious metal like copper and iron and all that shit is going to go whew. You need to put your house in order and be able to survive. all these preppers that all these people have made fun about for the past few years and talking about how stupid they are and blah, 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 blah. Them are the smartest SOBs on the planet because they are prepared and ready for whatever is thrown at them. Why you shitwads up there in the big cities think that when you go get your Starbucks, your caramel latte frappuccino from Starbucks and all that other shit. Well, your punk ass ain't gonna go buy it no more when that summit is $30 a cup, are you? And then when all the food runs out of your refrigerator because you can't afford to go buy groceries, what are you gonna do then? Huh? But in that meantime, between now and when the dollar finally collapses, you need to take advantage of it and get all your debts paid off. You do. You need to stock up. You need to gather yourself. Like I said, you need to put your house in order and prepare for the worst. Hope for the best. Be prepared for the worst. I'm prepared. I can survive. I'm a country boy. We do that. Y'all make sure y'all like and share my video. Hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope for the best for all of you. And God bless Dixie.